The other way! Yes?
Is it harmless, Cassandra? Or could it turn into a demon?
There's always a chance. Harmless spirits do not always remain so.
Nonsense! I am in control of my fate!
I was not addressing...
The rage demon in the caves is dead, as you commanded.
I had no doubts. Now that my sovereignty has been respected, I can depart this unchanging nightmare. Your reward. Use it well.
Your worship.
I've already found the remains of the people who died in Old Crestwood.
Acid Andraste. I didn't imagine you'd look yourself. Thank you for your thoughtfulness. It is all too rare these days. I will prepare the bodies for cremation.
What do you mean the mayor's gone?
He rode out an hour ago. We spotted him from Byers Field. He didn't even stop the wave.
Maybe he's getting help.
What for? The dead are gone.
Mayor Dedrick's lived here 50 years. He wouldn't abandon us.
He's been acting strange ever since the Inquisitor drained the lake.
A letter of confession from the mayor. It says he was the one who flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago to stop the blight from spreading.
It's monstrous, but if it stopped the blight from wiping out the entire village...
She sees us!
us. That was great.
woman who saved Crestwood from the dead. Watch out for the Wyvern in the hills. I'd take his hide if I were better with a bow.
If you're Judith, there's a man in the village concerned about you.
That must be Gould, fretful as ever. I'm glad he stayed in Crestwood. He's fast as you please with a loom, but terrible with a sword.
Do you farm out here?
The name's Judith. I farm and I mend things for the village and people passing through. I did a fair trade with traveling merchants before the undead started attacking.
You live here on purpose?
Oh, you know, the fishing's grand.
There's a wyvern causing trouble?
It used to hunt in the mountains. Didn't bother anyone but the bandits. Lately, the beast got it in his head to come down here. It almost crippled Gould's little boy. Best someone kill it. I hope I get my hands on the liver. It makes a poison that kills rats like nothing.
Until later.
Be safe.
Reinforcements!
More fellow countrymen. Say hello.
Well met, your worship.
I found Butcher's corpse by the South Road. Venatori ambushed me afterward.
Only our highest operatives knew he was coming tonight. I must inform Sister Nightingale we have a traitor.
What's happening in Crestwood?
The villagers are glad to have us. We impose no levies and help train their guards.
I should be going.
Another time.
Need something?
I killed the wyvern up in the cave. The body's yours if you want it.
That I do. Here, for your troubles. I hope you can make good use of it.
Evidently, I offend you just by existing, Vivienne. What is it you want me to do?
I'm sure I don't know, darling. Do you imagine I spend all my waking hours worrying about your self-improvement?
Look, I wasn't trying to imply that you...
My dear Blackwall, there's nothing you can do to make your order relevant to our present situation. You really must stop assuming everything is about you. It's unbecoming.
Glad you made it. I just got here myself. My contact with the warden should be at the back of the cave.
A group of wardens were protecting a villager from corpses out near Crestwood.
They were likely hunting my friend. I'm glad they didn't come looking for people to help in here. They might well be good men, but they've been given bad orders.
It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
My name is Stroud, and I'm at your service, Inquisitor.
Most of you wardens disappear. Then I run into a darkspawn magister named Corypheus. Do you think that one might have something to do with the other?
I fear it is so. When my friend Hawk slew Corypheus, Weishaupt was happy to put the matter to rest. But an archdemon can survive wounds that seem fatal, and I feared Corypheus might possess the same power. My investigation uncovered clues, but no proof. Then, not long after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
I recall that being a bad thing. But I don't recall you telling me about all this.
It was a Grey Warden matter. I was bound by an oath of secrecy.
Is the calling some sort of Grey Warden ritual?
The calling tells a warden that the Blight will soon claim him. It starts with dreams. Then come whispers in his head. The warden says his farewells and goes to the deep roads to meet his death in combat.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes. Likely because of Corypheus. If the wardens fall, who will stand against the next Blight? It is our greatest fear.
And then they do something desperate. Which is, of course, what Corypheus wants.
Is the calling they're hearing real? Or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I know not. Even as a senior warden, I had heard only the vaguest whispers of Corypheus. The wardens believe that this calling is real, and they will act accordingly. That is all we know for certain.
You said all the wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you? And also you, Blackwall?
Sadly, yes. It lurks like a wolf in the shadows around a campfire. The creature that makes this music has never known the love of the Maker, but at times, I almost understand it. We must uncover what Corypheus has done and end it. This cannot stand.
I do not fear the calling. And worrying about it only gives it power. Anything Corypheus does will only strengthen my resolve.
How can Corypheus make all these wardens hear the calling?
I cannot say. We know little about him, save that he is dangerous. He is a Magister, as well as a Darkspawn, and speaks with the voice of the Blight. That lets him affect the minds of wardens, since we are tied to the Blight ourselves. It must be how he created this false calling.
We need the warden's help. This is the worst possible time for such lunacy.
We are the only ones who can slay archdemons. Without us, the next Blight will consume the world. Warden Commander Clarel spoke of a blood magic ritual to prevent future Blights before we all perished. When I protested the plan as madness, my own comrades turned on me. Grey Wardens are gathering here, in the western approach. It is an ancient Tevinter ritual tower. Meet me there, and we will find answers.
Let's go.
I heard what he said. Hopefully we'll find some answers in the western approach. Though I fear what those answers will be. I've seen too much blood magic to ever trust where it leads.
We should get to the ritual tower in the western approach as soon as possible, Your Worship.
Chlorel's the warden commander, right? What's she like?
She was a good warden. Once. Among those King Kalen reached out to before the Blight. She always resented missing the chance to help. When the calling came, Clarel stopped listening to the rest of us. Only magic could solve this problem, she said.
Do you think Corypheus is using the calling to control her?
It's hard to say. I have heard the whispers of the calling myself, but it's only noise, no words. Certainly no commands. Either way, the guilt is hers. She's Warden Commander, She should bow to no one's word but Weishaupt's.
What's it like being a warden? I can't even imagine.
It's been a long time since I was anything else. It becomes your life, searching out Darkspawn, killing them, ensuring no one ever knows how close they are.
Corypheus was in a warden prison, right? So you must know something about him.
I knew little, and that much only because of my relative seniority. Most wardens have never heard of him. When I suggested Corypheus might have something to do with the calling, the warden mages turned on me. I trained some of those wardens myself. If I knew any more of Corypheus, I would share it, your worship.
We'll talk later.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
The mayor has anything to say in his defense, let him speak.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood? Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
You committed murder on Ferelden's soil. Let them deal with your punishment. Send him to Denerim. He can live the rest of his life behind their bars.
In prison? Maker. I should have drowned with them.
I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her titles are among the dignities already at risk of forfeiture. You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
Out of your element, Floriane. Welcome to the Inquisition. My party.
Despite her posture, Lady Floriane has acknowledged your authority.
Should I curse you on behalf of the Elder One? I realize he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celine does not know her fortune.
She has caused no end of misery. It's time she brought some joy. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, jester to the Inquisition. In flat shoes.
History's greatest malevolence, Inquisitor. I am the jest of Orlais already.
It's Taven's party.
Looks like they tried to fight back, but most were unarmed. Poor buggers. Never stood a chance.
There should be Inquisition soldiers here. These are our men.
does Corypheus find all these fanatics?
Search them. Maybe we can figure out what they were after. Corypheus's men had part of his seal. Do they even know what it opens?
Taven's interest must have been enough to draw their attention. The Emerald Knights. They once patrolled the borders of the Dales, protecting the elven people. The Dalish saw them as romantic heroes. The Chantry called them ruthless butchers. I suspect both sides have some element of truth.
This is it. Whatever Taven hoped to find, it's here. It's an account of Red Crossing. When the elves attacked that town, it prompted the exalted march of the Dales.
Taven would want the Dalish to have this.
The elves don't come across in the best light here. Maybe we should let them stick with their old stories.
I imagine the Chantry would be interested in it as well.
It's good to see you again.
I found something about Red Crossing in Dinan Hanin.
You explored Dinan Hanin? Remarkable. So many have tried and failed. If you went to the Emerald Graves, did you see Tavin and the others?
They were killed. I'm sorry.
I am too. Sorry, but not surprised. Thank you for bringing this to me. It is part of our tale and will be cherished. Dareth Shiral Dalen.
You have, of course, notified the stakeholders.
They are expecting your tariffs, though I cannot say
Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure.
Half the coin
You
was
must
from
have
my
had a
coffers
long
in the last
journey
switch
to
when
the
Selene
city.
ascended.
Might there be
A
any
wisely
news from
played
this house?
change of allegiance.
Here's a letter from Ellerly. He's safe with his family in the Dales.
Oh, my Ellerly. Oh, bless you. The Dions will sponsor the du Paraquets as a family deserving of a noble title, Inquisitor. You have my word. Now please, forgive my hastiness, but I must read Eloly's words. Make her keep you.
Inquisitor!
What happened here?
The House of Repose decided to pay a visit. The guards arrived in time, but I should have guessed the assassins would infiltrate the servants.
Are you sure they didn't hurt you?
They only frightened me. It was all so sudden. Leliana assigned people to shadow me. They appear to have saved my life. I owe you everything, Sergeant.
Only my duty, Ambassador. I'll talk with the spy master about these murderous louts. She'll find how they got in.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's the next favor we need to get these du Paraquets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Inquisitor.
Scout Harding.
We're on the outskirts of Sarnia. This is what's left of the town. The lucky ones got out before the river froze over. The rest, penned in by Fade Rifts and Red Templars. We're the first friendly face they've seen in a long, long while.
How did an entire river freeze so quickly?
It got really cold, really quickly. Sarnia relies on its river for everything. Trade, food. They weren't expecting this.
Do you know why the Red Templars have come here?
Can't tell you much. The Templars have outposts all through the hills. Our scouts haven't been able to get through. It probably has something to do with the local stone quarry, though. A lot of the workers went missing after the Red Templars moved in.
Are you all right? You look a little cold.
Me? Well, it is a touch chilly. My toes are freezing. I'm sorry. You didn't need to know that.
Here I come to save the day. Again.
That's why we love you. The Red Templars have been mounting frequent attacks. They want Emprise de Lyon. Bad. Let's get out there and take it back from them.